Hey everyone, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing yoga for hip strength. So it's going to be a full hip workout. So we're going to be working in all different directions through the hips. So the idea is throughout this yoga flow, we're really going to try to hit most of the muscles throughout your hip. So it's really like a complete hip workout in terms of strengthening. So it's going to be, yes, a yoga flow, but a little bit like a yoga fusion class. There'll be some exercises that are not traditional yoga poses in our practice today, but it's going to be good. So with all that said, we'll start today laying down on your back. All right, so laying down on your back, you're going to have the knees bent, feet planted on the ground, hands on the belly, and just tune into the breath first, just to drop into the body, be present here on your mat. So on your inhales, your belly's going to expand, and on your exhales, the belly will fall back down. So just connecting with the breath in this way, moving at your own pace. And as we go through our practice today, I'll try to also let you know what muscle we're working, what direction, just so that you can start to deepen that connection with your body and just deepen your understanding. Okay, taking one more breath here. And then you're going to hug the knees in toward your chest, and we're just going to make some circles, and we're just warming up here. So you're going to hold on to the knees. You're going to push them away, bring the knees apart, and then you're going to circle back in, and they come back together. So just making these little hip circles here. Maybe dropping the awareness down into the hip joint or hip joints. Staying connected with the breath, just letting it flow at a comfortable, steady pace. And then we'll switch directions. So you're going to hug in, knees apart. They stay apart as you come around, and then they come back together. So just reversing those hip circles here. Take one more circle. Good, and then maybe hug the knees in, holding on to the shins. Just taking another breath here. And then you're going to send the feet down. So feet are planted on the floor. They're hip width apart. We're going to warm up with some bridges here. And we'll move with the arms. So you're going to lift up into your bridge. The arms will reach overhead. Oop, I'm hitting a dog. And then you're going to come back down. Hands come down at your sides. Okay? To connect the breath with movement, we inhale to prepare. We exhale as we lift. Arms reach. And then inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep going at your own pace. We're starting to work through our hip extension and activating through the glutes. Okay, so your focus here is on the glute muscles. We're just warming up here, so you don't have to go super high in the bridge. Take two more. Okay, on your last one, hold at the top. Draw the hands down at your sides. Make sure you're breathing. And then option to interlace the fingers underneath you or interlace the hands underneath you. Shimmy the shoulders under, and now you can fully lift into your bridge. Okay. You could also just have the hands at the sides. Let's take two more breaths. And then you're going to release the hands if you had them interlaced and slowly lower back down to the ground. And then you could just let the legs shift a little side to side. All right. We're going to do a little core abdominal work, but it's also going to work your hip adductors, so your inner thighs. So we're going to draw the legs up. Okay, so the legs are straight, feet up toward the sky, hands down at your sides. All right, so everyone, I want you first to have the legs straight up, all right? So you're not trying to do anything intense by lowering the legs here. They're straight up to the sky. You're gonna let the legs start to come apart into like a straddle, and then you're gonna draw them back together. As you come back, you cross one leg in front of the other. We come back into the straddle, and as you come back, you cross the other leg in front, all right? So it's an inhale, come into that straddle. Exhale, pull the legs in. Inhale, straddle. Exhale, pull the legs in, getting that cross. Okay, you want to keep going like that at your own pace. You want to keep a slight space between your low back and the ground. And the core is active here, so gently pulling the navel in toward the spine and making sure you're keeping that breath flowing. Okay, we have a few more. If you want to start to lower the legs a little bit, you can, to get a little more extra ab activation. So as you lower the legs, you'll feel the abs kicking on a little more. Again, just make sure you're keeping that slight space in the low back, not letting yourself overarch here. And if you're lowering the legs, really make sure you're pulling that navel in toward the spine. One more each side or each cross. Good, and then release, hugging the knees in, just shifting side to side. Okay, from here, you could either roll to your side, use the hands to sit up, or you can rock yourself up to sitting. And go ahead and make your way to all fours on the hands and knees. Okay, so we're just using this as a transition here. So go ahead and wave back to a downward dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips, send yourself back to down dog. And then from downward dog, step the left foot closer to the center line, step the right foot between the hands, ground down through the back heel, wave yourself up, warrior two. Breathe. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears, pressing down into the right heel, and maybe even lifting the arch of the back foot a little bit. 2 more breaths. Okay, pivot around, so lifting the back heel as you pivot, square yourself forward, reach the arms, and you're in crescent lunge. Squeeze that back knee straight, 2 breaths. Hands drop to hips. We're gonna power up to the top of the mat, bringing the left knee into the chest. So hinge forward a little bit and then step all the way up. Use your strength. Pull the left knee in toward the chest. Keep a slight bend in the standing knee. Hold it there. Breathe. Maybe reach the arms up. Using the core to hold the leg there. The spine is nice and straight. Working through that left hip flexor, so the muscles in the front of the hip. 1 more breath. Okay, hands back to hips. Step all the way back into lunge. Hands plant down to border right foot. Step it back, down dog. Breathe in downward dog. And then the right foot steps to the center line. Left foot steps between the hands, waving up, warrior two. Breathe, settle into the pose. Stay connected with breath. So even though this is more of a physically challenging practice, where we're really getting into the physical body, working on strengthening, it's still yoga. Stay connected with the breath, trying to stay present here on the mat. 1 more breath. Pivot the back toes, so you lift the back heel, pivot around so you're facing the front of your mat, lift the arms up in crescent lunge. And as the arms reach, let the shoulders melt down, feeling the shoulder blades descend down the back. 2 more breaths. Hands come to hips. We're going to step to the top of the mat, use the left glute, and you're going to pull the right knee in toward the chest. So hinge forward a little bit, And then step all the way up. Use your strength. Right knee hugs in. Keep a slight bend in the standing knee. Breathe, and then maybe the arms reach up. All right, so the right hip flexor is working, but so are those deep abdominal muscles. So using those ab muscles to help you hold the leg here. 2 breaths. Hands to hips. Step all the way back to lunge. Hands come down to border left foot. Step back, downward dog. Breathe. And then you're going to walk your hands all the way back. So back toward your feet. And then once you're there, rolling yourself back up to standing. Good. You could walk your way to the top of the mat. I'm going to face you. We're going to do tree pose here. Okay, so for tree pose, starting on the right leg, so slight bend in the right knee, left foot, you could either bring the heel to the right ankle so the toes are still on the ground. The foot can go to the inner calf, or you can use the hand to pull the foot in, so it would be left foot to the right inner thigh. You don't want the foot on the knee. All right, hands start in prayer. Breathe, make sure you keep that slight bend in the standing leg. And then we're gonna reach the arms up, open at the top, so you're in like a Y shape, and breathing in tree pose here. Settling in. One more breath. Hands come down through prayer. And then with control, lowering left foot to the ground. Switching sides, slight bend in left knee. Right foot can go to any 3 of those positions that we just talked about. So finding your variation of tree pose. Connecting with breath. Then reaching the arms up. Opening at the top into that Y. Shoulders drop down, breathe in tree. So a lot of muscles are working here, so I chose to incorporate this one because when we stand on one leg, we really have to activate through our outer hip muscles, our hip abductors. Focusing on a point to help you with the balance. And then the hands can draw back through prayer, and you're gonna drop the right foot down, slow and with control. We're gonna make our way back down to the mat. We'll flow. So you're gonna inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale for flat back, hands to shins or fingertips to floor. And then exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Just taking a breath here. And then drop down to the knees. Come to side sit and then make your way to lay on your side. Let's start laying on the right side. All right, so this is where we get our yoga fusion, where we're gonna do some strengthening exercises that aren't necessarily traditional yoga poses, but it's still good. All right, so you could either bend the elbow, hold the head in the hand, or you could straighten the arm out, so the right arm, and let the head rest on the arm, or you could bring a pillow over. You're gonna have both knees bent and bring them a little bit more in front of you. You're gonna keep the feet together. You're lifting the top knee for clamshells. So the knee lifts and then you lower down, okay? Keep the breath flowing at a nice, steady, comfortable pace. And make sure as you do your clamshells here that it's really coming from your hip, the motion. So don't let yourself roll backward here. Only go as far with the leg as you can keep the body straight or the torso straight, okay? You're gonna feel this in the outer hip, and it's working your hip external rotators. Okay, one more. Okay. And then we're gonna kind of reverse the clamshell. So you're gonna keep the knees together. You're lifting the left foot up and then you lower down, okay? Again, my torso is not rotating. I really want this motion coming from my hip. And this is working your hip internal rotators. Make sure you're breathing. This is a muscle group we probably, or most of us probably don't work a lot. Let's take one more. Nice. And then we're gonna move into a side plank. You're gonna prop yourself up onto your right forearm. So make sure the elbow is right under the shoulder. You could either keep the legs bent and lift up from here or straighten out through the legs. Weight's gonna be on the outside of the right foot, lifting up into your side plank. Breathe. Yes, this is working obliques, but it's also working your right outer hip muscles, the abductors, your glute med. 2 more breaths. And then lower down. Walk yourself up, and you can just swing the legs over, switching to the other side. So laying down onto the left side. Okay. Find your head position. And then the knees are bent in a little bit in front of you. Feet stay together, right knee lifts, and then you lower down. Clamshell for external rotation on the right side. Let's go for 4 more. Okay, relaxing, and then we reverse the clamshell to work our internal rotators. To keep the knees together, right heel or right foot lifts up, and then you lower. So you're getting this little rotation through the hip. It's probably not going to be a lot for most of us in this position. That's okay. Again, keeping the torso stable. Three more reps. Last one. Nice. Walk yourself up, propping up onto left forearm. Keep your left elbow right under the left shoulder. And your variation of side plank, so either with the knees bent or straightening the legs out. Core is engaged and really using those left outer hip muscles to keep you lifted. 3 breaths. One more breath. Lower yourself down. Come to all fours. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths in down dog once you get there. We'll start to stretch it out. Step the right foot between the hands. Drop the back knee down. Untuck back toes, lift up into your low lunge. And breathe. You could stay high, or if you want to sink forward a little bit to get a little more stretch, you can. One more breath. Hands plant down, tuck under back toes, lift back knee, step back, downward dog. And switch sides, left foot between hands, drop back knee down, untuck the back toes, lift yourself up, low lunge Anjaneyasana, either staying high or sinking further into the lunge, stretching into the right hip flexor, but still staying strong here through the left leg, pressing the left heel down into the ground. One more breath. Hands plant down, step back into downward dog. Option to come through plank, dropping the hips into an upward dog, or you could always take Sphinx pose as well. Breathe. So I'm in up dog with my toes tucked. And then wave back to down dog. One more breath. Drop the knees, cross the feet behind you, come back to sitting. We're just gonna take a seated figure 4. All right, so the feet are in front of you with the knees bent. Keep the right foot down, cross left foot over right thigh, and you're gonna have your hands behind you, propping up onto your fingertips. If you'd rather lay down and do this, so just laying on your back, right knee is bent, and then the left ankle would cross over, you could do that as well. So the closer you bring your torso to your left leg, the more intensely you'll feel the stretch. And you could be on the fingertips or hands flat down as well. Breathing into the left hip. Three more breaths. And then switching sides, left foot plants down, right ankle crosses over onto left thigh, and breathing into the right hip. And as we slow down here, just again finding connection with breath, trying to breathe in and out through the nose. Three more breaths. Uncross right foot, and then we're going to come to a wide leg stretch, so the legs are going to come out nice and wide. So you're in this wide leg pose. If the hamstrings are tight, you could just have a little bend in the knees and just trying to sit up nice and tall. If you can get the knees straight, you can go there. Everyone bring the hands behind you, propping on fingertips, growing tall through the spine. Breathe. And then option to take a forward fold, so bringing the hands in front. But while you fold forward, if you're going to take that option, just find length in the spine as you fold, so you're not collapsing down. Let's take 5 breaths. Last breath here. If you're forward, walk yourself up. Everyone, again, just finding a little extension here, growing tall through the spine. And then you're going to tuck the legs in. And we'll just take a little meditation here. You can be sitting in easy pose. You can kneel, or if you want to take a shavasana, you can, and it'll be just quick, so please stay. It's a nice way to just seal our practice in and just reconnect with ourselves, body, mind, and soul. So just taking this moment here, wherever you are, closing your eyes. If you're sitting, growing tall through the spine, and just noticing the breath again. Letting any muscles that you don't need to use right now relax. Bringing the awareness within, just being present with yourself here. Noticing any shifts in how your body's feeling, your mind. A few more breaths sitting here. Then everyone's going to bring the hands into prayer at the center of the heart. And we'll close our practice with a breath here together. So nice deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Come back to your comfortable breath. Hands release down and blink your eyes back open to the world around you. Thank you so much for practicing here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this flow and that you feel a little stronger, and maybe you learned a little bit about some of your hip muscles and just the different ways we could strengthen through our hips. If you guys like practicing with me and you want longer yoga practices, I think you'd like my Patreon. Every month you get a new yoga practice over there that's 50 to 60 minutes long that goes along with our theme of the month, which usually has something to do with helping us just grow spiritually and work with our body, mind, soul connection. So I'll leave a link to that in the description down below if you're interested. But otherwise, if you liked this practice, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye guys.